Good evening, Techno Freaks. Teknoodin here, and today I want to talk about Brutalities in Mortal Kombat X. Now, the game's been out for a few months, and I feel like I have enough experience now to give my general feedback to NetherRealm Studios on what I like and what I feel needs to be fixed. Hopefully, these fixes can be done through patches sooner rather than later in the game's lifespan. Let's see how well this video does. Now, for those who don't know what brutalities are just a list of finishing moves that are tied to character-specific special moves, grabs, or dialer combos that, if certain criteria are met, you can use those special moves, grabs, or dialer combos to finish the fight with a sort of mini real-time fatality. Now, the majority of characters gain 5 brutalities, 2 that are universal and 1 per variation, though there are characters with 6 and some have hidden brutalities such as Sonya Blade's X-Ray Brutality. Now, players start with 1 brutality and have to unlock the rest via certain chests or gambling coins at the shrine in the game's crypt. This gives us a large variety of ways to finish our opponents now, alongside returning fatalities and the other new addition, faction kills. But if you're local player 2, sadly you don't get the brutalities or fatalities that player 1 unlocks, and you have to go into the crypt yourself, just like you had to do with MK9's fatalities. This wouldn't be so bad, but unlike fatalities, just knowing how to execute a brutality won't cut it. They have to be unlocked for them to work. This really sucks if you want to have a mini tournament at a house party and your friend has only unlocked the fatalities and brutalities on player 1's side. Now hopefully NetherRealm can either fix this so that if player 1 unlocks it, player 2 can perform it and it's all there on the player 2's finishing moves menu. Or better yet, NetherRealm can just remove that lock that stops brutalities from being performed if they've not been unlocked, so that as long as you know how to do it, you can do it, just like you can do with the fatalities. That's just an easy way to fix that issue. Now, to accompany brutalities, NetherRealm have tweaked the round system a bit, where in most fighting games, once your health is 0, the round is pretty much over, forcing you to drop your combo and allow the second round or final round to begin. In MKX, this only applies to those first rounds. In the final round, if you've got your opponent in a combo and their health somehow reaches 0 mid-combo, you will not be forced to drop it. You can continue your combo and, if you want, finish it with a brutality so long as you've met the requirements. This is really good because it can give the player that freedom to be really creative and make up their own specific brutalities. So this kind of now rivals Killer Instinct's Ultra combos. And if you played Killer Instinct, anything that can rival that system is pretty much gold. But the one downside to this round system is, at the moment, it counts the final round as over, but allows combos to still be done. Now this really messes up a few characters who require buffs for their brutalities, like Johnny Cage, Jason Voorhees, and Sub-Zero. You see, these characters gain buffs that get removed the instant a round ends. This is mainly for balance reasons, but at this moment in time, it doesn't really help. You see, characters like Stunt Double Johnny needs his shadows, and if they disappear, which they do, his combo potential is cut. And for characters like Relentless Jason and Unbreakable Sub, they will not be able to perform their brutalities because they need those buffs on in order for their brutalities to work. So this kind of is a really bad oversight, and it defeats the purpose of those brutalities because they will never be able to be performed. And speaking of defeated purposes, there are numerous brutalities in this game that require your opponents to have their feet firmly on the ground. But these requirements aren't part of the game. They're just, like I say, I believe an oversight. See, because in this game, like in most Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm Studios games, juggles are the superior way of fighting. So what I mean is, majority of the time, your opponent is going to be in the air, and having all your brutalities require him to have their feet on the ground means you can't perform combo brutalities, which is going to lessen the hype. And it's even worse is when there's brutalities that definitely should be able to be performed in a juggle, but some reason don't. And these are just sins. Characters like Johnny Cage with his nut punch brutality. Kano with his just the tip brutality and his cutthroat variation. Shinnok with face off. And Kung Jin with his roundabout. These characters all have moves that literally can easily be done in the air, but they just seem to have not been programmed in. So I think it might probably be a good idea to either program those in or just make it so that the majority of brutalities that require you to be in the air just be performed. It might look a bit odd in some cases, but I can literally show with a few really badly edited videos just how well they can work. Look, I mean, when I say bad edited videos, I mean, look at Shinnok's right here. You can definitely tell that I may have missed the positioning when I finished that off because Shinnok's arm and body is facing a different way. But it still works. Other than that little miss up, if you were just looking at Johnny, it works. It makes sense. And for Kano here, I've put two videos together, but it's done in such a way that you wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't have just put these two videos together at the side by side to show you what it is. And if I can do that with poorly edited videos, it's got to be easy for NetherRealm to just program stuff like that in. Now, I'm not trying to hate on brutalities, and I'm not trying to make it so NetherRealm don't do it again. I want these in the next installments. I want these in every installment. I want these to become the main staple of Mortal Kombat. And the only way I can get this done is if we improve on them now. And that's what I need you guys to do. I need you to get this video so much likes, so many subscribers, comments if I may have missed anything. But we need to get this out. Heck, I'm going to try and show this to as many people in the respected side of YouTube gaming so that NetherRealm can see that this crazy fella here who can't really string that many sentences together actually has a point. And then hopefully they can improve the game and make MKX even better than it already is. But we can only do that with our voices and the power of those voices. This has been Teknoodin. Peace out, guys, and may the power protect you always.
How far you have fallen.